Good morning, everybody. This morning I want to talk to you about your moods and your emotions. So many people that come to me are suffering with various conditions, but usually it also implicates their mood and their emotions. So I see people on a scale, on a spectrum of mental health issues, and some of those can be wildly different. So some people will be very, very flat, very sad, very depressed, very dark, like there's no enjoyment in life. And then other people can be really in knots, really anxious, really reactive and excitable, not in the terms like children being excited in a good way, but the brain being too excited in a negative way. And I see all sorts in between as well. Addictive behaviours, apathy, loss of interest in life, loss of interest in hobbies that they used to have, suddenly disliking people. I see all sorts. Sometimes this is hormone related, and there's lots that we can do to help balance that with things like helping PMS, which can be a huge factor. But did you know that your neurotransmitters, they're your hormones that carry messages around your brain and then which get transmitted onwards along your nervous system? Your neurotransmitters are made of various components that you need to provide in your diet to have a healthy synthesis of those, and that means to make them healthily. So we're talking about serotonin, which is a very well-known neurotransmitter or happy hormone, as I sometimes refer to them. So serotonin, it helps you sleep, it helps you have enjoyment in life, it helps you be motivated. And when serotonin is low, you can feel really, really flat, really depressed, very sad. You can cry a lot, you can have poor sleep, you can even feel pain more intensely. You can be paranoid, be more of a perfectionist, develop OCD. You can get obsessions about things. You can get this inner rage, you know, where you're perhaps walking behind somebody that's a bit slow and you want to punch them. Not speaking from experience, but I hear about this sort of thing. What else? A numbness, a feeling of just being disconnected from your feelings when serotonin is low. Angry outbursts, thoughts of escaping. Your friendships and your relationships can suffer. So that tends to be a serotonin one. Dopamine is one that you may have heard of. Dopamine is associated with pleasure and reward. So if your dopamine is low, you are likely to binge on high fat, sugars, chocolates. You may develop addictive behaviours. So there's lots of research that people with addictive behaviours have low dopamine levels. So you're constantly needing this pleasure and reward feedback for the brain when your dopamine is low. With dopamine, it's more of a apathy. You just can't be bothered. You can't be bothered to do anything. You've just lost interest in life. You've got no motivation to do hobbies, no engagement, no drive. You might feel like you want to sit on the floor in the kitchen in front of the washing machine and just sit there for hours and even have a good old cry. You can commonly develop self-sabotaging habits with low dopamine levels. So this could be addictions like we talked about. It could be self-harm. It could be binge eating. It could be being self-sabotaging in relationships. Your behaviour can become risky. So people could start gambling or, you know, just doing things that are more risky. Mood swings, low libido. You might feel you need caffeine, and you can become very distracted with low dopamine, with an inability to focus and concentrate on tasks or finish tasks. Social anxiety, you might feel like you just want to withdraw and isolate. And then GABA is another one I call GABA brain butter. It's very soothing for the brain. And when your GABA is low, this is when you can be absolutely in knots with anxiety. You can feel it in your tummy. You can't switch off. This anxiety is intense. You can become panicky, overwhelmed. You've just got this restless mind that you just can't calm. You might feel worried about lots of things, very fearful, and have this inattention and this overexcitability of the brain. You can also be depressed. You might find it very difficult when you've had a stressful event to calm down from that and relax again. You might have insomnia. You might be quite impulsive, making decisions too quickly without thinking them through. And you might find yourself being quite disorganized. So there's lots of things you can do with these hormones, these happy hormones, these neurotransmitters being low. And there's lots you can do with your diet. Now, all of those require a good amount of protein per day. It's like baking a cake. If you don't put the right ingredients into your cake, you're not going to have a very nice cake. So if you forget to put the flour in, it's going to come out like a mushy mess. And it's the same with our bodies. To make our levels function appropriately, we need to give them the right ingredients, and protein is massive. So some of the amino acids that I use with people to help balance their neurotransmitters, they're all derived from proteins. Now, I bang on about this a lot, but I'm 5'5.5" and my frame, I need the minimum of 55 grams of protein a day. When I'm exercising, I need more. That's a lot. 2 eggs is 10 grams. We're talking protein, really good sources with every meal and every snack. And if you are veggie or vegan, you must make sure that you have a variety, a spectrum of all different plant proteins each day, because in a piece of chicken or a piece of steak, all the essential amino acids just about are going to be in one serving. And there's loads of these essential amino acids. In plant-based protein, you might have 2 or 3 in chickpeas. You might have 2 or 3 in tofu. You might have, for example, that's not an accurate number, but you get what I'm saying. You've got to have a spectrum of different proteins every day if you're veggie or vegan. So that is my number 1 tip for raising your mood, and that is raise your protein. Number 2, cut the sugar out. It's excitatory on the brain. It robs your body of vital minerals like magnesium, which is really essential for brain health. Hydration. The minute you are mildly hydration, your body, without you even knowing it, goes into fight or flight mode, because you're going to die in 3 days without drinking, and your body really hates to be dehydrated. It knows this, and it will start to send out adrenaline, cortisol, and all sorts of excitatory hormones that are too stimulating for the brain. You must drink plenty, and I'm not talking tea and coffee or even decaf tea and coffee. That doesn't count. Even herbal teas are still dehydrating to a certain extent. I'm talking pure water, 3 to 4 pints per day, and if you can drink it warm, that's even better. It's more soothing on the body. If you would like to really go deeper with your mental health and your moods and your hormones with me, then come and see me. There's lots of therapeutic grade supplements that I can help to boost you back up to normal, and we can talk about how you can then continue this with your diet and your lifestyle. Don't suffer in silence. I see transformations in clinic with moods and emotions. Just reach out, make a phone call, make an email, and I can help you. Bye-bye.